येस सर.
आता अटेंडन्स अजून कोणाचं राहिलं का? पुन्हा मध्ये मध्ये करू
नाही
नका.
नाही सर, आता आज अटेंडन्स घेतली सर. येस.
घेतलं ना?
येस.
ठीक आहे. ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ डॉक्टर बाबासाहेब आंबेडकर मराठवाडा युनिव्हर्सिटी, on behalf of HRD Director Professor S.S. Patil sir, and as a coordinator myself, and on behalf of my all teachers and non-teaching staff and academics members, I warmly welcome to the Professor Satish Kulkarni sir, Nagar, Head of the Department of Indian Science, Pune University. So now who is the next person who is going to introduce the Satish Patil sir? Roll number?
Roll number 26, sir.
Yeah, please, ma'am. You please.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. So good
Yeah.
afternoon to everyone. This is M. Sasikala from the Department Assistant Professor from the Department of Fashion Technology and Costume Designing, Jamal Muhammad College, Tiruchirappalli, Tamil Nadu, India. So a very warm welcome to all present here, respected professors, scholars, and friends. A special thanks to our today's chief guest and speaker, Dr. Satish Kulkarni Damodar. Sir, it's an honor to be graced by the presence of such an accomplished professor with us today. So our today's chief guest and speaker, Dr. Satish Kulkarni Damodar sir, belongs to the Department of Environmental Science, New Arts, Commerce and Science College, Ahmednagar. So sir was hold various academic positions like Controller of Examination, Head of the Department, IQAC member, Research Committee Chairman, Chairman in BSc and MSc of Pune University, BOS member in Solapur University, Academic Audit member in Junjunwala College, Mumbai, and BOS member in FC and TC College, Pune. By the year of 2020, Sir was the chairman and BOS member in Environmental Science, Geography, and Philosophy in NA CAS College, Nagpur. Sir completed various projects from funding agencies of University Grants Commission, Board of College and University Development of Maharashtra, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Sir contributes various services in research area, and by his guidance, 10 MPhil scholars and 8 PhD scholars completed their project. Sir published about 68 publications in high-impact journals and 3 books entitled as Environmental Awareness, Journal of Aquatic Biology, and Environment and Ecology. So finally, I like to thank our today's chief guest and speaker and the organizers of this refresher program for giving me this opportunity. Once again, thank you and welcome you all. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Very nice introduction. Satish Kulkarni, sir.
Okay.
Sir, yeah, please, you can start.
Is it audible to everyone? Hello.
Yeah. You are audible.
Yes, sir.
Babu, Academic Council, Academic Staff College. Then I'm very much thankful to the Department of Environmental Science in Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, Dr. Satish Patil, Dr. Bandela sir. They are continuously cooperating us in the field of the environmental science. Today also they have given opportunity to us to make the interaction of the today's participants. And it's a very glad to see that near about 75 participants are here. So it's a very good gathering. And I hope that next coming hours, we will make the good interaction in the field of the environmental science. I come to know that the people, those are from the different disciplines are there. So some part I will speak in the English and some part I will speak in Hindi also for those are from the other disciplines. So to understand the subject, that is more important for me. So rather than to only present the material. So now is it on the screen? Are you going to view one slide?
Yes, sir. Screen is visible now.
Your screen is visible now. So today we are going to be point out what is the sustainable development. Now presently I am working as a professor in the Department of Environmental Science, New Arts, Commerce and Science College, Ahmednagar, affiliated to Pune University. Now, today, sustainable development goal and perspectives. So, sustainable development in Hindi, we can say that it's a Satat Vikas Lakshya. So, continuous development, which are going to be, and it should be sustained. It should be Shashwat. In Marathi, we call it Shashwat, or Hindi, we call it as a Vikas. It's a guaranteed Vikas, but it is doesn't affect on the future. So, that is a term which are going to be considered. Now, why this topic come in our limelight? So first we are finding there is one nation, that's the United Nations. Near about we know that one. We have the 193 countries are a member of the United Nations presently. 194 is in waiting. That is in Palestine. So 93 number is the Sudan. When the South Sudan was going to be separated with the North Sudan, so naturally we are finding that South Sudan was the 193. So all these 193 countries are a part of United Nations. And they prepare some programs for the well-being of the planet Earth. So naturally, initially in 1980, there is also United Nations in one strategy. So that is which they think that this world should be conserved or the planet Earth. Hello. So, sir, दिसत नाहीये का? Hello.
Sir, visible and
दिसत आहे, sir.
audible.
So
No
visible
problem.
visible.
Visible आहे
दिसत
ना?
आहे, sir.
ते मला कारण मध्ये आवाज कोणाचा तरी आलाय. ठीक आहे. So 1980 मध्ये वर्ल्ड कॉन्झर्वेशन स्ट्रॅटेजी स्टार्ट झाली आणि नंतर 1987 मध्ये बर्टलँड कमिशन, दॅट इज they use the word sustainable development. So that is a Butland Commission. That is in a year. You have to remember that 1987. In Butland Commission, the first time the word sustainable development is going to be used. And what is the sustainable? They think that when we call it is in a globe, so this globe should be conserved, or it should be properly protected, or it should be properly maintained. So present generation as well as future generation will get the ample benefit from this planet Earth. So that is the first in Butland Commission. They think about the local, global, and the national level sustainable development programs. Now, second, after that, in 1992, that is in Brazil, Rio de Janeiro. So that Earth Summit was held. In that Earth Summit, we are finding that they have prepared one agenda that is called as Agenda 21. So now Agenda 21 is related with the century. That is the 21st century. So they decided that we have to come with some millennium goals. We have to come with the millennium goal. We have to discuss about near about 100 years program. So then and then we can go for that. So that the Agenda 21 is going to be framed in Rio conference. So, but one lacuna is in that Rio the conference. It was not mandatory for everyone to follow all the rules and regulations which are going to be disclosed in Agenda 21. And then we're finding that it doesn't give any outputs at local, global, and the national levels. So that was a lacuna in Agenda 21. But after that, we are finding that it was millennium goal, because near about 100 years, they are going to consider as a span for a development of the Earth planet or the conservation of Earth planet. So naturally, we are finding that they have decided that we have to go for the new changes. So in 1996, they come together again, 96. One thing I have to mention here, that every year United Nations come together and discuss about what the programs are going to be conducted, what are the outputs they have from that programs, and what are the future programs to be considered. So everywhere year they are coming together. So all these 193 countries. So in 1996, they find out that we have to consider some indicators. So what are the indicators to be evaluated? What are the indicators to be considered? Because that geographical conditions, we are finding that in different region, we have a different condition, like in North America are different and South America conditions are different. European countries having different, whereas in East Asia having the different, Central Asia having the different. So naturally, we have to consider some indicators for the development and the programs in related with that one. So that is in 1996, the programs are going to be framed according to the geographical locations. and the implementation of that programs. In 99, UK strategy, that is which are going to come in existence in 2005. The programs, only the program cannot be prepared. Somewhere we have to go for a collaboration, we have to exchange the technology, we have to support the financial programs to the different countries, because already we know that the world is divided into three categories: undeveloped countries, developing countries, and developed countries. So naturally, financial status of every country is different. So naturally, we have to go for the financial support also. But after that, in Johannesburg, so it's a 2002. So it is also going to be called as a Rio 10 plus, and Rio 10 plus, which are nothing but after the 10 years in Rio summit, what we have achieved. So that is going to be evaluated in Johannesburg. So Johannesburg conference is more important in related with the sustainable development. Sustainable development के लिए Johannesburg conference study करना बहुत जरूरी है, because what we have achieved within 10 years after the implementation of the Rio summit, and then this summit was held into the South Africa, Johannesburg, in 2002. Now, when that is going to be held, we are finding that Johannesburg conference was between 26 September to the 4th, 26 August to 4th September. That was in a span of near about 8 days, where all these 193 countries come together and then evaluated what we have decided in Millennium Goal in 1992. That is it, we call it as the MTC, Medium Development Goal, and we have done SDC. So LDC and MTC, these are the two things are considered in Johannesburg. Johannesburg के अंदर दो ऐसे चीजें कंसिडर किया है कि मिलेनियम गोल है और आपका जो है LDC है, या दो अलग अलग गोल्स है. तो मिलेनियम गोल्स 92 में जो we have decided in Rio conference, how much was achieved in that one, because in 92 they have disclosed that it is not mandatory, it is not compulsory, it is not financially penalties will be imposed onto the different countries if they doesn't follow the rules and regulations to achieve the goals. So there is no mandate. So naturally that 193 countries decided that we have to evaluate at least after some period. So Johannesburg is nothing but it is a conference related with the evaluation of the 1992 conference. So after the 10 years they have come together and then evaluated. So these conference is also called as a World Summit on Sustainable Development, that is a WSSD. आपको ये याद रखना है, WSSD. Johannesburg Conference, WSSD. Rio Conference, Earth Summit. These are the two terms you have to remember. So in Earth Summit, Rio Conference, we have the Millennium Goals. We have decided Millennium Goals, but lacuna was that it is not mandatory. But in World Summit, we are finding that which are on the sustainable development in Johannesburg, we come with some concrete ideas. So that is the WSSD in Johannesburg is conducted between 26 August to 4th September. What is that? We are finding that they have renewed the global support for sustainable development at the highest political level to become the face of the Agenda 21 implementation. So what they have decided, उन्होंने क्या सोचा है कि we have to speed up the things, because in such a speed, if you are going to conserve the Earth planet, or we have to go for the sustainable development, it will take a long time. Even though 100 years cannot be sufficient for to achieve the targets. So they have decided that we have to go for somewhere in collaboration of political support, technological support, financial support. We have to somewhere make some changes, and then we have to increase the pace to fulfill the Agenda 21 implementation. Again, you remember the term Agenda 21. Agenda 21 म्हणजे काय? Agenda 21 is nothing but we have to conserve or we have to fulfill all the goals which we have decided for the 21st century. आपल्याला 21st centuryच्या मध्ये पूर्ण हे गोल सगळे अचीव्ह होऊन पूर्ण पृथ्वी कॉन्झर्व करायची हा त्याच्या मागचा उद्देश होता. So the main accord to come out with the Rio Summit was in 1992 was Agenda 21, and then we are finding that to.
Sir, excuse me, sir. Sorry for disturb. सर आपने ये कहा था अभी ये जोहान्सबर्ग के लिए WSSD करना है और एक कुछ और बता रहे थे आप, मैं वो मिस हो गया.
सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट WSSD।
यस सर, ये तो जोहान्सबर्ग के लिए आपने कहा WSSD है होना है।
हाँ, जो
और
आप
एक पॉइंट और कह रहे थे आप, रियो अर्थ कुछ।
रियो अर्थ समिट 1992 और जोहान्सबर्ग आर रियो +10 बोलना है उसको।
रियो प्लस्टर, ओके सर, यही ठीक है,
हाँ,
थैंक यू।
रियो +10, रियो 92 में हुआ था, उसके 10 साल बाद जोहान्सबर्ग हुआ है।
ओके सर, थैंक यू
हाँ,
थैंक
तो
यू।
2002 में उन्होंने उसको समिट ऑन सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट बोला है। रियो कॉन्फ्रेंस के अंदर एजेंडा 21 इज गोइंग टू बी डिसाइडेड। एजेंडा 21 इज अ मिलेनियम गोल है और सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट ने इधर जो जोहान्सबर्ग में हर 10 साल में इवेल्युएट होता है। One thing is you have to remember that in this Rio conference we have started with the 3 millennium goal programs. In Rio conference we have started with 3 millennium programs. One, we come with the United Nations for Convention for Climate Change, UNFCCC, UNFCCC। हमने 3 प्रोग्राम स्टार्ट किए रियो कॉन्फ्रेंस के अंदर। एक है क्लाइमेट चेंज का, यूनाइटेड नेशन फोरम फॉर द कन्वेंशन फॉर द क्लाइमेट चेंज, UNFCCC। दूसरा हमने किया यूनाइटेड नेशन CBD, कंजर्वेशन ऑफ बायोलॉजिकल डाइवर्सिटी। और तीसरा स्टार्ट किया हमने यूनाइटेड नेशन फॉर कंजर्वेशन कॉम्बैटिंग विद डेजर्टिफिकेशन, यूनाइटेड नेशन कन्वेंशन फॉर कॉम्बैटिंग डेजर्टिफिकेशन। ऐसे 3 प्रोग्राम मिलेनियम गोल बोल के रियो कॉन्फ्रेंस में स्टार्ट किए। And then we have to start to evaluate in 2002 in Johannesburg. So Johannesburg में we have to come to know that the pace to complete the goal is very slow. So we have to modify. So in modification, what we have to do? We have to fragment the different goals, and according to that, we have to prepare the program to implement local, regional, and global levels. So in order to meet this everyone fundamental requirement, raise in living standard overall and better manage to safeguard the ecosystem for long-term sustainability, it advocates for the integration of environment and the development. So these things we have to decide it. So what is the agenda 21? मैंने आपको बता दिया है, agenda 21 का evaluation जोहान्सबर्ग में हो रहा है। तो ये स्लाइड उसके बारे में, I will submit this slide, I will skip this slide because otherwise you will be again in confusion. So now here we are finding in the Portland Commission, we have decided the definition of the word sustainable development. And what is the sustainable development? Development that need the present and without compromising the ability of a future generation to meet with their own needs. In Hindi you can say, or in Marathi you can directly say, आप जो प्रेजेंट सिचुएशन में है, आपका पूरा रिक्वायरमेंट फुलफिल होना है अच्छी तरह से, और आपको फ्यूचर जनरेशन के लिए भी बचाना है कि उनका भी फुलफिलमेंट हो जाए. सो दैट इज वी कॉल्ड इट एज sustainable development. So this is the common definition. So definition you can easily remember. This definition comes from the Portland Commission 1987, and then it's start to considered into the Johannesburg Conference. That is the 2000. What are the main pillar of the sustainable development? There are three pillars. One is the social, environmental, and economics. These are the three pillars which are going to be considered in the sustainable development. कोई भी चीज होगा तो उसका सामाजिक क्या होगा, पर्यावरणीय का होगा और आर्थिक क्या होगा. इन तीन पिलरों के ऊपर कोई भी देश की इकोनॉमी चलती है, उनका पर्यावरण चलता है और सोशल स्ट्रक्चर भी होता है. So we are finding that even in global level, you are finding the country are divided on the basis of economy, on the basis of social structure, and basis of the environmental structure. So that is a factor we have to consider it. So in the three pillars, we have the different goals. First goal in social, we have the sustain the institutions. We have the different institutions. Take an example, we have the educational institutes, we have the administrative institutes, we have the agricultural institutes. The different institutes are there which can present into the different forms. So we have to maintain that institutions into the consideration, because in social we have the different type of the population, different type of the custom, different type of the developmental activity, different type of the practices, social and different health practices are there. So that institution we have to protect. Second, improve the justice and encourage the participation. Set inequality, gender differences, or the justice inability to get to the poor person also. Everywhere we have to give the improve the justice and encourage the participation. So when you give the justice or improve the justification, even though you find that in male and female we have a gender inequality, so it is an injustice program. So we have to improve in that such area. Second thing, people to be participate in a development program, because people participation also one of the factor which can give the increase. And take an example, Indian consideration, if you are finding that today also we have the near about 65 to 68% population depend on the agriculture sector, but they don't know the different type of the industrial participation. Even though in different social programs which are going to be run in their villages also, they don't know regarding. Someone are preparing policy and then program is going to be implemented. They didn't know. So what we are finding that here the people have to encourage to participate in each and every program to know out the regarding, so they can get the plus and minus in the program. Second thing, economical, ensure the basic needs, equity and employment opportunities. Now, in the global levels, in scenario, if you're finding that some countries are rich and some are the poorer ones, so naturally the migration of people which are finding that from developing countries to developed countries and undeveloped to developing countries, this migration is going to be occur. Second thing, due to the natural resources availability, second thing, exploitation of resources, then we are finding the poverty is one of the major factors which are working into the undeveloped countries. So that if it is going to be happening, so you have to find you have to ensure the goals according to the region, according to the country, according to the local or the national levels, and then you have to find out the how to you can combat with such type of the economic goal to fulfill, to bring on one of equal life. So that is how we call as an economic goals. And finally, we have an environmental goals. Environmental goals, we are finding that is a genetic diversity, geographical diversity, then topographical diversity, then biological diversity. So every diversity is present in different part of. If you take another population density in the north and south pole near countries are very less. Whereas in take an example, the population of total Netherlands is 1.25 crore. In Mumbai, we have 1.4 crore people are living. So you can find out the population density into the two different countries. Region. Take an example, America having the population only 35 crore. We have the 140 crores. They have the land 3 times bigger than us. We have the population 3 times bigger than them. So naturally, what we are finding, unequal distribution of the population is there, regional distribution is there, and so naturally we are finding that we have to somewhere find out the differences between the environmental condition present in such areas. Next, we have the sustainable development is the journey of towards the sustainability. So we have started in 2005 in related with these one unsustainable, and in future we have to consider that we have to reach up to the good things, that is the basic needs we have to fulfill. We have to increase the life quality and then tolerable inequality and the living within the earth. We have not taken a big aims. हमने कोई बड़े big aims नहीं लिया है, but we have to find out the basic needs. That's the food, shelter, and then what we call it, food, shelter, and clothing. All these are the annavastra nivara, what we call it in Marathi or Hindi. So that should be fulfilled to the each and every person those are present in your country or in your region. And then the number of the poor people should be reduces. So naturally, dependence will be the lesser, productivity will be maximum, and then we are finding that so everyone's life will be the having a good quality. Then second thing, tolerable inequality. When we are finding that tolerable inequality is so financially, resource distribution, and then security, social security, all these are should be tolerable into the area where the peoples are living in that areas. So that is what we call as the living within the earth limits to the people. So then we get the sustainable society developments. Second thing, when the sustainable society is going to be considered, we have the social equity, that is a living condition. Take an example, those everyone is now you are a professor, you are the lecturer, associate professor now. Then you are finding you have your own shelter. So naturally, someone having a smaller one, someone having the bigger ones. It's decided on how much money are they spending on their living conditions. So immediately in any city, if you goes, you are finding the city is divided into three parts.
ऑर्डर घेतलाय ना आपण आता स्वीकारलंय आता ते ट्रेनिंग आता ग्रुप तयार करतील ते
So we are finding that there are three, if any city, if you goes, then you are finding three parts will be of a city. One is the richer, we are getting the big bungalows, well and neat constructions, then protection, everything is going to be available. Then middle class families which are going to be living in another area. And third, we are finding in the slum area, the people are living. So living condition we are here. So in which city, what type of the concentration of a population is present, according to that, the conditions of the living of the people in that area are going to be easily identified. So till in India, we are finding near about 17% population are living in a slum areas of any urban city. So that is in 2011 population census when they are going to be calculated, we are finding still 17%. In 21, I don't know what is the, because we don't have a census data. So in 2011, near about 17 to 18% population living in a slum area. So we have to bring that population into the normal condition where they will get the ample amount of the living space. Second thing, equal opportunity for everyone. So in society, we are finding that equal opportunity. So everyone have to get the equal opportunity for a distribution of resources, distribution of financial conditions. So naturally, what we are finding that equal opportunity. Now presently, we are finding that a single post, if it is going to be declared in college or in everywhere, we are finding number of applications coming for that post will be in the hundreds. All are qualified, but they are not going to be struggling for to get the opportunity. Why? Because the supply is limited and demand is high. So naturally, everyone is not getting the opportunity. Is there is any possibility that every person have to get the job or get the sufficient financial support, social security in the survival? It may be related with the health, it may be related with the food, it may be related with the financial conditions. So that is the social equity we have to develop in it. Second one, we have the social cohesion. Cohesion means come together. So that is a mixing of two different characters into the one, or they have developed their bond between them. So that is social one. So we have the in community, we have, or in the region, local or national level, different communities are going to be living. So naturally, there are maybe the different customs, different type of the practices in such type of the religions. And naturally, we are finding that there should be no conflict between these two different communities. Communities or different religions. So naturally, the society should be a uniform, or it may be cohesionally bond or tight with each other. एक दूसरे से अच्छी तरह से मिक्स होकर करना. Otherwise, social security come under stress. आपको पता चला कि if you are not secure in your area, then what will happen? Continuously you will be under stress conditions. So the social security should be there. It may be related with any factor, customs ho, practices ho, or religion ho, koi bhi ho. So you have to get the cohesion. You have to develop a cohesion between the social customs, social practices, social religions which are present. Next one, you have an international solidarity. International solidarity, we are finding the regional levels. When I am saying national levels, at international levels, we are finding the people uniformity. Everyone have to the right to maintain their identity into the world map. Take an example: people migrated from the India to the USA. So naturally, they always called it as an NRI. We call it as an NRI, non-residential of India. So that also they called it as an foreigners. If we go in that end. So our community will be the different one. Our practices will be different. Our facilities will be different. So international solidarity for every country have to be maintained. Second thing, we are finding that the boundaries of the every country should have the sovereignty that they can maintain their identity into the world map. National level, you are finding the Far East, Central Asia. far west of the Central Asia, that is Syria, Lebanon, then Iraq, Iran. We are finding continuously they are unstable condition. Continuously there is something warlike conditions are. So people those are living in that area, they doesn't show any development. Even though presently we are finding 1.5 year continuous Ukraine and Russia are fighting with each other for the land acquisitions. So these are the conflict at international levels. We are finding that they may be unnecessarily create the social disturbance into the different communities living in a different regions. Next, maintenance of the human capital. So we have to maintain the human capital as a resource, because human is called as a resources for developmental programs. Maintenance आपको करना है, क्योंकि if you take an Uganda, if you take an Ethiopia maximum lifespan is of 42 years. You can imagine that your total life is completed within 42 years. We have the life expectancy. हम यहाँ तक कम से कम in India we have 67. 67, that is the maximum age we can survive into our Indian continent. Second thing, if you go in again another countries like in Japan and all this, the Netherlands, we are finding the minimum live into the 95 years. So what we are finding, the life expectancy is going to be changed as per the social structure and the facility available for the sustainable programs. And then we are finding people, so human capital also we have to consider in the developmental activity. Then economic efficiency in sustainable society, that is the economic growth, that efficiency and the competitiveness. Now, when I'm saying that efficiency and competitiveness, efficiency म्हणजे क्षमता, आप कितना काम कर सकते. If you have the efficiency of the 10 hours, then we are finding that you will be an excellent category. If you have the 5 hours or 6 hours, you are in moderate condition. If you have the 2 to 3 hours, then you are the so efficiency always give the output. Second thing, competitiveness means we are finding the society or the human population or the resources technology adaptation will be the competitively give the pace to the development. We give the pace to the development. Take an example, we are finding that 10 years back when we are finding the mobile and different type of the devices which they are very new. No one knows that how to utilize it and how to adopt all this technology. But as the time passes, we have to learn, and then we are finding presently without taking a money in a money purse, we are moving in outside. So we are living in a digital India. So naturally we are finding the competitiveness is going to be increased. So naturally we are finding that so bank transition is not new for everyone now. Anyone can operate and from the remote areas through their phone only, mobile phones or smartphone, what we call it. So what we are finding competitiveness, you have to increase into the society. So naturally it can support the economical efficiency. Then flexibility and stability. Next one is flexibility. How much the flexibility into the change in the program. So you should not be rigid into the programs. So you have to adapt as per the requirement of the changes which have to be considered for a developmental programs. So naturally we are finding, even to take an example, we have done typewriter first, now then we shift to the computers. After that, everyone is saying that if the computers are coming, it can consume the lot of opportunities for the people's the jobs for the young generation. Hello. So finally, we are finding that we have adopted the condition, we have made the flexibility, and now it is a past now. Typing institutes are past now. Presently, everyone has the mobile. That is what we call as the computers now. So flexibility is also one of the factors you have to consider to adopt the new technology adaptations, new technological adaptation into the programs, and then increase the pace of the developmental, which should be sustainable. Then production and consumption. Now it is related with everything. How much you make the export, how much you have to import. Again, on that basis also, we are finding that how much economic efficiency of that country is there. Sometimes we are finding we don't have enough resources, we have to depend on the others. So that time we are finding that we are importing the materials. Some are we are having the maximum resources, we export it. And this import and export resource, that is a program, what we call as a commerce program, can give you idea regarding with the economical condition of the state, that state or region or the nation also. Then employment and international trades. Now, this is the another same in related with the commerce. Commerce means that is the trade. That's how much countries' financial conditions is there. On that basis, the facilities are going to be considered to provide for the human capital present in their country. Whatever the program to be for human well-being to be considered and to be increased in that area. Take an example, just I will give the idea. Now we have started some program, but initially we are funding last 30 to 40 years back. The US has started the program that every senior citizen, every citizens, those who are in the American citizenships, they will get the medical facility free of cost because they are charging the taxes from that taxes they are providing the medical facility for every senior citizen present in that area. Now we have adopted that Ayushman Bharat and we are providing the facility for those persons who are in the age more than 60 or 65 years. I think presently they have turned into 70 years. So what we are finding slowly we are in developing stage. We are not developed. So naturally we are finding developed countries already providing the lot of facility to the maintain their human capital. Next, we have the environmental responsibilities in sustainable development, that is consumption of resources, material and waste, risk, rate of exchange, natural and natural lands, cultural lands. Now take a consumption of the resources. Consumption of the resources means what are the resources you have that one. Because the resources are exhaust, maybe we have the two types of resources, renewable and non-renewable. Renewable resources, we are finding that it may be available again, but non-renewable resources like a mining operation or any type of the product which are going to be used from the different minerals which are not available again. Take an example, petrol we are importing only some part of the country. Some countries having their monopoly on that supplying the carbon resources. But we are finding if we are increasing the consumption, then what will happen? It may increase the cost of your import will be increases. Your lifespan cannot change because your a lot of money is going to be spent onto the importing the material. Second thing, you are going to be release the different type of the pollutants into the environment. Again, another factor which are finding that in India now presently, in world map, maximum countries, maximum cities of the India is come under the threatening condition of the air pollution status. In Maharashtra, Chandrapur is the highest polluted city. And we are finding that the 3 cities in Maharashtra are come under these categories. Pune is also in that category. So Chandrapur is there, Pune is there, and then we are finding Mumbai is also coming. So what we are first slowly we are finding the number of polluted cities are going to be increases, and this is also one of the threat for the developmental program in India. Second thing, material of waste. So you can imagine that material of waste, it is a major problem to disposal of waste which are going to be present in. As per the Indian standard, we are finding every person every day 250 grams of waste is generated. So multiply that with the population, you can get the how much amount of the your city is generating a waste. So that is the if you go in a bigger city, again your living standard is different, then waste quantity will be increases. But in an average, we are finding that the type 1 and type 2 cities, every day they are generating 250 grams of waste by every person. And in big cities, this is a major problem to disposal of waste. So every day we are losing the 66-acre land. Every day we are losing 66-acre land for disposal of waste. You can imagine that how much it is a problem for us. So we have to concentrate on these ones. So we have started already the different program for solid waste management practices by the state as well as the national governments. Second thing, we are finding that you cannot imagine that Mumbai having the budget for a disposal of a solid waste is equal to the annual budget of the Pondicherry, Daman and Diu and Goa. 1178 crore rupees budget is there only for carrying and disposal of a solid waste which are generating every day from the city. There is a huge material which is going to be disposed into the nearby areas. So in Delhi election, we are finding that that is a Narela something area. We are going to be dispose all this waste and we have to clean it and we have to prepare a garden like that. Such type of the statements are made by the politicians. So it is election was quite on the basis of the solid waste management practices. So such a problem we have that one. So environmental responsibility is there. We have to change all these things. What are the approaches to be considered in sustainable development? We have three approaches in a day. That is what we call it the economic development, then ecological development, and the social development. When I am saying that it is an economical development, it should be sustained economic growth, maximum profit, expand market, and externalize cost. So this is the economic development in global sustainability. Now, first you know that one. Second, maximum profit, and third one is then expand the markets. So you have to identify the different markets for your products into the national as well as the global levels. So you'll get the because we have the two categories of the materials are there, perishable and non-perishable. So when we are finding that the non-perishable material can be export maximally, but in perishable material we are very weak. Though we are producing much more, we are second in the production of the what we call it, milk, but we are not able to export it because we don't have a such type of the expanded market we have identified, and we don't have a technology to export the material every day to these nearby countries because we don't have a such type of facility. Then externalized cost. Second thing, how much cost which are going to be considered into the involvement of the production of a material or economical growth, because profit is nothing but the production cost minus your selling cost. So that will be the profit. So we are finding that the economic development factor, we have the externalized cost is much more. So naturally the profit margin is very less. So naturally economic development is going to be also less. Next one, we have the social development, satisfy the need, what are the present of the society, and then increase the self-reliance into the publics. Now, when I'm saying that it is satisfying the need of and increase the self-reliance, the community, when it is going to be having the idea what are their needs and how much they have to acquire and how much they utilize that resources what they have made available. So that will be also you. So we need the awareness among the peoples regarding with the how they have to go for the self-reliance related with their activities, related with their needs. And then that is the one of the factor in social development, in sustainable development. Next one, in ecological, we have the respect the carrying capacity. Now, carrying capacity means the material or any capacity of any individual, how much he can perform the maximum or to satisfy the maximum capacity. So that is take an example. In Punjab, we are finding a lot of salinity is going to be increased in the agriculture sector, and the production of the wheat is going to be reduced. So why the carrying capacity of the soil is going to be reduced due to the unwanted, that is a unplanned way the land use pattern is going to be considered. Second thing, the inputs, that the fertilizer and the pesticide which are going to be utilized in that area, they affect onto the microflora and the texture of the soil. So naturally we are finding they are majorly getting the effect due to the salinity. Second thing, wetland development area is going to be, so that is a leaching is going to be occurring in that area. Third one, we are finding that if you goes in Maharashtra, if you goes in Satara, Sangli, Kolhapur area, the sugarcane area is also facing the same. Initially, they have the near about 100 tons of per acre sugarcane is going to produce. Now they come up to the 60-65 tons, or even though less than that. So what we are finding, carrying capacity of our agriculture sector is going to be reduced. In such cases, you have to prepare a program for them to enhance, to maintain, or to increase the carrying capacity of the area by different type of the practices. Later on, we will come for that one. Next, you have to conserve the and recycle the resources. Second thing, we have one principle in sustainable development, we call it as a 3R principle. So that is recycle, reduce and hello. Aayega?
Yes, sir. We are present. You are audible. Yes,
हो
sir.
सर बोला सर आहेत सर बोला
हाँ सर
Yes,
बोला
sir, audible.
Maximum मराठीच आहेत का?
हो सर
Maximum मराठी आहे ना? ठीक आहे. Second, we have the recycle, reuse and recovery. So these are the 3R principle in sustainable development is going to be consistent. So three core drivers of the unsustainability. We are finding that which are the problem area in sustainability are consumption, production, and distribution. We are finding consumption, use the resources beyond the reasonable limits set by the nature. So we are finding sometimes we are finding illegal mining are going to be considered, extra mining.
डोंगरे सर माईक बंद करा सर डोंगरे सर
But, next, so when the resources are going to be considered, we are finding that in a plan B it should be considered. If it is not a plan B, then consumption will be increases and unnecessary it will be not available for the future generation. Next, production, gross insufficiency in the production. When I am saying that the gross inefficiency, take an example with my experience. If I am working for a 8 hours in a work day, then I think that I will prepare a lot of study material for me to deliver the lecture, and then when my teaching program will be very sufficient. But we are finding that I am not doing my same that the 8 hour spending my 8 hours for the same program. So naturally inefficiency will be affected on my teaching program. So that we are finding in every sector, inefficiency is also increasing, and then it may be affecting onto the production. And finally, unequal distribution of resources. That is, we are finding unnecessary. It is creating the barrier between the rich and poor, and then different type of the two countries or two nations, or you can say two regions or two states. Take an example. We have a lot of conflict between the river water distributions, like in Andhra, Karnataka. We have in Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, Andhra, Maharashtra, Karnataka. These are the conflicts. Already we have the resources conflicts. So these type of the conflicts which are going to be considered if it is an unequal distribution is there. Now there is a Chinese verb, when the winds change the blows, some people build the walls and others build the buildings. So sustainable development क्यों करना है कि हमको आगे जाना है और आगे जाना है तो so we have to consider that we are very now here again we will come to back, that is in a Button Commission, then we have the Johannesburg Commission. Before the Johannesburg Commission we have the Rio Conference. In Rio Conference I had told you that we have the two goals. One is the Millennium Goal and second one is the LDC, that is the goals related with the we have the SDC, the Sustainable Development. This is a Millennium Development Goal, and this is a Sustainable Development Goal. So in Millennium Development Goal in 1992 Rio Conference, they considered that 23 international organizations agreed to achieve by the 2015. So Millennium Development, but still we have not achieved the 224. Now second thing, we are finding that this Millennium Development Goal, which are going to be adopted by every country, that is 193 countries to achieve this. What are that goals in that? So we have the 8 goals are there. First is eradicate the extreme poverty and hunger. Have to eradicate the extreme poverty. अतिशय गरिबी जी आहे ती आपल्याला कमी करायची आहे. And then second thing, we have to find out the भूक बढी. So that is a भूक, that is a hunger. We have to reduce it. Second goal was achieve the universal primary education. So everyone have to get the education facility. So at least primary education to be provided for each and every newborn baby in different part of the world. Next one, promote the gender equality and empower the women. Next, gender equality. So that is there should be no differences between the genders. that is a male and female both have the equal right, and then empower the women. So in a lot of countries, or even though in tribal peoples are everywhere, we are finding the women are having the no power. So naturally empowering to them to give some financial support, skill support, technical support, educational support by the different program to provide the facility to empowering the women. Even then to participate into the politics also. We have done some reserve seat for the ladies. So that is empowering to understand the political structure or the legal structure into the different part of the programs. Then fourth goal was a millennium goal was a reduced child mortality. So good health facilities to be maintained or provided to reduce the child mortality. So even though in India also every 1 lakh population, we have 149 child mortality rate is present. 149 आजही आपल्याकडे मुले जन्मताच मरतात. So त्याला we have to reduce that. So we are working on that. So each and every lady should get the facility to give the healthy baby after the pregnancy. So that is enough mortality rate to be reduced. Next, maternal health. If those who are connected with the medical program, they know it that maternal health program we have to run into this. That is the goal. Then combat HIV, AIDS, malaria, and other diseases. So one thing you remember, this is the program in 1992. They have decided different type of disease. So that in that time we have an HIV, AIDS, and then one of the big disease or big what you call that is a program where we are finding that they are available. After that, we are now 3 years back we have cases with the corona. So that was a huge pandemic. So now we have decided to combat with the corona. We have developed the vaccination program and then we run the vaccination. So like the programs are going to be considered in goal 6, then ensure the environmental sustainability, Paryavarana sustainability, and finally we have the global partnership for the development. Next, that is a goal number 8 was an important where we are funding global partnership. Everyone have to come together, exchange the technology, exchange the that is extend the cooperation to the people. Those are the countries. Those who need to be improve their environmental condition or the technological condition or the social condition. So that time they have to make the global partnership for the United Nations. Now these are the things related with the 1992 Agenda 21, that is the Rio conference, and after 10 years when the Johannesburg conference was the World Summit onto the Sustainable Development, WSSD. Here we are finding that. So in that Johannesburg conferences, we have decided different 17 goals. We have decided different 17 goals. आपण असे 17 वेगवेगळे गोल्स कन्सिडर केले की त्याच्या थ्रू आपल्याला हे डेव्हलपमेंट करायचं आहे. आणि मग हे गोल कधीपर्यंत कंप्लीट करायचे, अप टू व्हॉट टाइम. So we have decided within 15 years, that is 15 to 30. So we have started on 1st January 2015 and lifespan was considered 2030, that is a 15 year. So by 2030 we have decided that we have to achieve all these goals. असं ठरवलं की 17 गोल आपण 2030 मध्ये सगळ्या देशांनी कंप्लीट करायचा प्रयत्न करायचा आहे. Now including 17 goals are there, but there is a program which are going to be considered under these 169 programs are there. So naturally we are finding that a set of universal applicable goals that balance the 3 dimensions of sustainable development, that is the environment, social and economic. So that we have to consider. Now this is the picture you have to remember. हे पिक्चर तुम्हाला लक्षात ठेवायचं. हे पिक्चर जर तुम्ही लक्षात ठेवलं की तुम्हाला हा पूर्ण लेक्चर कळालंय असा अर्थ होतो. आणि हे एवढंच आहे, या लेक्चरचं पूर्ण जे 1.5 तासाचं आहे ते फक्त एवढंच आहे. तर पहिला गोल आहे नो पॉवर्टी. When I am saying that it is a no poverty, so no poverty means the person should get the required food material. So how much quantity of or how much calories for every person to require for to survive at what age, that much amount of the food availability should be there, and there should be no one will be there such which will be the below the line. Take an example. We are finding that in India poor person having the earning near about $1.75 as compared to the other country. So if the person having the $1.75 per day, so it's a very less. So now we are finding that this is the no poverty should be there into this one. So in these 17 goals, first goal is related with the poverty. So end the poverty in all its forms everywhere. So you have to end the poverty and everywhere. So here we are finding the data up to the 2012. Here in India, we are Planning Commission of India discloses the data in urban and rural areas. How many poor are present in? So you are finding that in urban areas, population in millions. So here we are finding urban area, 5.2 crore people are poor. Whereas in rural area is we are finding 21 crore people are poor. So that is the evaluation of poverty one. So we have to reduce these number, 21 crores and 5.28 crores from the urban area and 21 crores. So when you reduce these one, then we are finding that we are coming. So what the Indian government have decided to run a programs. So we have the different program for to centrally sponsored scheme. We have the state sponsored scheme also, but here we are going to be considered as the national center policy, which is we have the first is the national urban livelihood missions. So we have the different type of the programs which are going to be run by these ones. So every person have to get, take an example, we have the different facilities, livelihood missions, urban livelihood missions. We are providing the houses to the poor people with the concessional rates or with the nominal rates. We are providing the houses to. So livelihood, so we have missions with that. Second thing, we have finding the National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme. So Manrega is nothing but to generate the employment to the people, those who don't have a skill, those don't have any job of. So in rural areas, we are increasing the employment through the scheme called as a Manrega. So this is Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme. It's called Manrega. So this Manrega, next one program we have started with the National Rural Livelihood Mission. So rural people also have to get the facility, urban people have to get the facility. We have taken example in urban area, we have the SEDCO, HUDCO, these are the programs where we are finding the marginal people's financial group people's or financial condition people have to get the houses into the HUDCO, Housing and Urban Development Program. Then we have the SEDCO, City and Industrial Development Program. Like the programs we are running into that area. In rural area also we have the Pradhan Gramin Yojana, where the peoples are provided with the houses. So that is the National Rural Program. Then National Social Assistance Program. Then we are finding that we are providing some social assistance to the people those are living in that area. So we are finding we are developing a community houses. Then we are providing the medical facilities into that area. So what will happen? People come together and make the assurity that they will get the safe living in that areas. They get the facilities availability in the area. Next one, we have the National Land Record Management Program. National Land Record in rural areas, we know that one you have to require the land record. Otherwise, the conflict in social structure may be arises, and then it may be unnecessary create a problem in society. So we have to maintain the national land record into that area. So everyone will get their land record management program to register under the some scheme we call as a city planning area or city planning department. In rural area, we have the Talati of the Tahsil office, or we have the PR card, or what we call it as the Satbara in Marathi. So that is the card are going to be maintained where the people get that. Second one is we have the goal related with the zero hunger. आता लक्षात घ्या आपण 17 गोल बघतोय. पहिला गोल काय बघितला आपण पॉवर्टी. पॉवर्टी म्हणजे काय? गरिबी. गरिबी कोण गरीब असणं म्हणजे काय असेल तो त्याला भूक लागणार. पहिला लक्षात ठेवायचं गरीब. That is the poverty. When the poverty is that no one is interested in that to live in a poverty. So naturally what we have to do, we have to prepare some program to bring that person
Sitatai.
Hello. Hello. Above the poverty line. So that we are going to be considered. Second goal is we have the hunger. So end the hunger, achieve the food security and improve the nutrition and promote the sustainable agriculture. So what we are finding that we have to zero hunger means what you require of food. You have to require food to supply to each and every person those are living in your region. So what you have to provide the secure and nutritional food to the person to promote their good health. Second thing, you have to promote the agriculture sector to develop such a program in agriculture sector which can increase the production with the nutrition. So naturally, this is a zero hunger can be considered. So we have the in Indian context, if you are taken in global, malnutrition is near about 8 crore people are there, underweight as 9 crore people. Whereas in Indian status, we are finding that 13 crore people are under malnutrition. So that is hunger, very high. Second, underweight is the 6.1 million people are under this condition. So that is another. So what the government is going to do for this one to eradicate the hunger program? We have the national food security missions. We know that one, even though a lot of times you can hard into the public politicians when they are talking that we are going to provide the 80 crore people are going to be provided with the food security by providing the 1 rupee or 5 rupees. We are providing with the PDS, public distribution system. We are providing the food to the every person. Those having the poor income groups, they are getting the free of cost from the PDS systems, public distribution system. We call it in Marathi, called as the Ration Dukan. So through the public distribution, who is monitored? District collector is monitoring all this program to run by their regions. Again, how to identify the people? Those are from the lower class, that is the lower income group. Those are middle income group or the high income group. We have given a ration card to everyone. According to the colors, we are finding the peoples are going to be identified on their financial status. And according to that, the cost of the purchase is going to be considered. So those who are in the yellow cards, they don't have to charge anything or to get the food into it. So we have started to eradicate the hunger from the society that providing with the free of cost. That's a free of cost food material to the poor, needy peoples. Second thing, we have the targeted public distribution system. So next one is a targeted public distribution system. Targeted means you have to identify the areas. You have to identify the areas where the people having the low income group or the low producing group, it may be low financial status group, people are living. It may be in a rural area, it may be in the tribal area, it may be the semi-urban area, urban area, or slum area. So you have to identify, and then only for that people you have to prepare some program to provide the facility to them to get the ample amount of the food material to reduce the hunger rate into that. Next one program, we have the National Nutrition Mission. Different type of the nutritions we have to go to. Take an example. When you are purchasing a salt, we have an iodine salt. Iodine salt is in a program where we are finding medically the region where we are finding the goiter is going to be one of the program. That is a health disease which is going to be observed. In such areas, we are finding only in that area you can sell the salt which having the iodine content. So there is a compulsory, mandatory, everyone have to use the iodine salt. So that was a factor what we are finding naturally. Iodine is going to be provided to food material. Second thing, we have the different types of the nutrition to make the available to the people where with the minimum cost. Then midday meal scheme. Midday meal schemes we are finding for the people working in industrial sector, we are getting the midday scheme with the Kamgar Kalyan scheme. Then we have in a school, we have for the students, those are not turning into the school due to only the low income. So they cannot get the food material. They have to go for work, though they are a child. So what the government have decided that every child have to get the midday meal in their working place. All the workers, those are working in the industrial sector, have to also get at a minimum cost. They are getting the canteen facility by Kamgar Kalyan Kendra. If the company don't have their own canteen, then the Kamgar Kalyan is going to be providing the midday meal facility for the every worker in that area. Then National Food Security Act, we have started that. So this National Food Security Act, under these one, some crops are going to be considered. Every crop is going to be made available for the people living in that area. You cannot store that one. You cannot increase the prices of the food material. You can. So this is the regulatory authority or the regulatory act which is going to be constituted in 2013 to protect the everyone. Now, first one is in poverty, second one is in hunger, third one is we have the good health. जब आप गरीबी से बाहर निकलोगे, भूख आपकी खत्म हो जाएगी, तो आपको अभी क्या चाहिए? हेल्थ. So you have to remember like this one. आपको अभी remember करना है health. So health for the and well-being. Good health means if you have the good in health, you can contribute to the nation. You can work hard, you can earn the money. So indirectly you are contributing to the developmental activity. So naturally, good health is also one of the aspects which we are finding that is to be one considered as a parameter in sustainable development. Take an example in Corona, everyone has faces the condition. Corona मध्ये सगळ्यांनी बघितलंय की काय परिस्थिती होती. 140 कोटी लोकांपर्यंत ही कारण त्याची लस नव्हती. Vaccination was not available. Vaccine was not available. Immediately, all the scientists come together. They have prepared a program with the collaboration with the AstraZeneca, that the Serum India developed one. Second one is in Hyderabad. Another Bharat, that is Pharma. They also developed one. So we have done two vaccine was available. One is in called Covishield, and another in I don't remember. So there is the two vaccine was available. Now, second thing. Immediately we have started that, and so all the health workers, those are engaged in that program, they have provided, and with the mass drive, we reach to each and every person to get the vaccinated in that, and we save the lives. So a lot of vaccination programs are there, even though in polio reductions, we have the hepatitis B, hepatitis E, then we have the meles, then we have the rubella. A lot of vaccines are available and continuous eradication programs are going to be considered. So these health facilities are going to be considered at a global level as to ensure the healthy lives for everyone to live in a well-being. So another thing I have to give you an idea. Take an example. We have in health program, different vaccines are available, but we are finding that it is made available. Those are pregnant women, they are getting with the minimum cost, they are going to be provided with the vaccines. So their baby which are going to be produced, it should not get any type of the problem. So all the vaccines are available for them. Even the nutritional tablets are available in the government hospital for free of cost. Second, they are getting some amount to get the healthy meal and healthy nutrition facilities. Even after the birth also, childbirth, the lady also gets the facility from the government to provide with the financial support as well as the medical support to get the healthy well-being into the society, because he can or she can contribute into the development of the society. So that's the program we are going to be run for. Second, vaccination for hepatitis or different vaccines, rubella, meles. So rubella म्हणजे गोवर, लक्षात घ्या. आपल्याकडे असतं ना ते गोवर वगैरे, कावीळ, गोवर, याच्या पण लसी आहे, आणि ह्या लसी ज्या आहेत ह्या आपल्याला हे करायचं. सेकंड थिंग, चाइल्ड डेथ हा एक प्रॉब्लेम आहे. सो वी आर फाइंडिंग we have improved the number of the death of the children under the 5. In 99, we are finding 12.7 million people in the world are going to be died. Now here we are finding 2015, only 6 million people are died before the age of 5. So this is a program which are going to be considered. So here the global vaccine coverage is going to find 84% people are going to be vaccinated with this type of the vaccine. And then maternity at global levels, we are finding maternity rate is also going to be decreases only and reaches up to 210 per 1 lakh people, 1 lakh birth. So what we are finding that, so there is no maternity mortality rate. So we have reduces up to the 210. Where global attendant for the skilled health person, we are finding reaching up to the 70. At the skilled, why we are going to be considered? because the person, those are maybe, he or she may have to contribute into the developmental activity. So he should be a skilled one. And then the skilled percentage is going to be increasing day by day. Here in this graph, you can get the idea how the India and the world growth percentage is good. So we are almost parallel to the world map, but still under the conditions that we are not achieving up to the mark of the world. So what we are finding that this is the factor where we have to work into the sustainable development goal. First, that is an hunger, correct? Second, poverty. Second one is the hunger. Third one is the health. So in third one, health, we are finding Indian status here. First is the child health mortality rate. We are finding for 125 only per 1,000 and 49%. सर रिकॉर्डिंग हम ले लिया है. हेलो. Next one is the MMR. Hello. So
you are audible, sir.
नाही मी ऑडिबल आहे. तुमच्या आता मेसेज आलाय की तिथं रेकॉर्डिंग थांबली. तिथं कोण ऑपरेट करतंय त्यांना सांगा.
Yes, yes, definitely.
गौरव सर रेकॉर्डिंग थांबली सर. गौरव सर
एक मिनिट हा. सांगितलं का सर?
बहुतेक सांगतायत सर. हॅलो. रेकॉर्डिंग स्टार्ट झाली असेल असं आपण कन्सिडर करू. नाही सर नाही झाली.
Sir, may I just talk to Gaurav, sir? The problem will be solved very soon.
चालेल ना. आपण गेलो परत पुढे रेकॉर्डिंग होईल.
Okay, sir.
अपडेट घ्यायचा. हॅलो. त्यांना विचारून बघता का किती वेळ लागेल? हॅलो.
हा सर ते पाहतायत. मी बोललो सरांशी.
ऐकायला येते म्हणल्यावर काय हरकत नाही. So literacy rate, we are finding that in global level, we are finding it every 100 in 2000, we are finding 100 million people, 57 million people. Those who are going to be not entered into the out of school, they are not going to participate in schooling program. But you are finding primary school program in sub-Saharan, this is the African countries program we are finding, we are achieving up to the 80%. Okay, global levels चाललेला आहे literacy rate comparisons. So in India, if you compare literacy rate, we are achieving up to the 74%. We know that one. In Kerala, we have the 100%. But other countries, even in an average, you are finding in northeast countries and northeast states, 100% literacy rate. So some of the Union territories are the states which they have achieved up to the 100%, but still we are in the world map. If we are considered, we are in the 74.4%. That is again we are, even in Sri Lanka we have the 98% literacy rate. So though it is small, we have the population that is one of the major problems to cover all these things. So what the remedies we have started for to increase the percentage of the literacy rate into the, because education is the fourth criteria what we have in the sustainable. We have started Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. So we are finding in the child So everyone have to get the education. So we have started with the different education. That's Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. So every child should be come to the school in local language or the national language. He can learn into that program. Second thing, he should get provided with the book material. He is provided with the meal that we call as the midday meal. Third, we are finding that the dress and everything is going to be provided by the government. So this poor people can afford the education facility and they can send their child to the education program. So naturally, we are finding that he will be educated. So this is a centrally sponsored scheme for every region. We have started with the Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. Then national program for NIFT to support to the primary education. Second thing, childs, those are in the school, they are provided with the nutritional supports. Those who are in those are learning into the state government run schools or the district government run schools, they know that when they are getting the khichdi or the different type of the menu every day. So it is a nutritional base menu was provided to the student as a midday meal. And then this is a program is also going to be run under the central sponsored scheme. Next one, we have the Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan, that is RMSA, for the children, those who are learning into the 5 to 9. We have a program that is the Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan. Then we have the Rashtriya Uchchatar Shiksha Abhiyan, RUSA, that is for the colleges. We are running so different types of schemes for the lady students as well as for the poor students under the RUSA is going to be provided. Then umbrella scheme for the education for ST student. Again, now here is the category for tribal peoples. We have the different type of program to run from there because they are very coming from the low income groups. So naturally, for educational purposes, till the date also we have a very least number of the ST students are present in the colleges. So naturally, they have to promote their education into such category of students. We have the umbrella scheme. Then Bade Bharat. Now, so everyone have to be learned. So Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, that is another version of that one. Bade Bharat. So everyone have to get the education. Everyone have to learn. At least they have to come into the National Learning Literacy Program. Then Free and Compulsory Education Act. So that is now it is implemented from 2009. That is the RTE. So everyone have to get the admission in each and every school or colleges. It's a right for every student or every young ones, those who want to join the literacy programs. So that is an educational program by the central government is going to be run. We have the different state programs are also here, but we are finding that. Now first is we have now taken up 4 goals. Now we come to the fifth one. First was a poverty, second was the hunger, third was the education. We are finding that third was an health, and fourth one was the education, and fifth one was we have the equality. जब गरीबी से बाहर आओगे या अच्छा हेल्थ होगा तो आप क्या करोगे, अच्छी एजुकेशन लेके आप फिर पॉवर्टी से बाहर आके जेंडर इक्वेलिटी के लिए जाओ. दिस इज द की फॉर टू आयडेंटिफाय. ठीक, हे की आहे. कसं ओळखायचं, एकानंतर एक गोल कसे लक्षात ठेवायचे, काहीतरी तुम्हाला असं मध्य काढावं लागेल आणि त्यातून की तयार करावं लागेल. Next one is the gender equality and empowering all women and girls. So here we are finding that there should be no difference between men and women, because in every society of the global level, we are finding there is a difference made between men and women, or men and child, that's the boy and girls. So the equality should be maintained into that area. So everyone have to get the idea that the gender equality and empowerment for the woman, we have to run the literacy program. Then we have to consider for the promote to them to come into the business area, to promote them into come to the national parliament scheme. Then agriculture and non-agriculture areas, they have to come into that areas. Take an example in a state government. Recently, the state government announces that every girl, those are learning into this graduation level, also get the free of cost education. The government will bear all the expenses of the education. So what this is the promotion. It is under the central government. They are going to be having the funds, and that fund is going to be spent onto the child. Those are leaving their education in between after the 12th standard or after So they are going to getting the admission into the graduation level or a post-graduation level. So up to the PhD level, we are funding, we are empowering the women and the girl child to getting the financial support for to learn the programs. So that is a scheme we are going to run. So here is centrally sponsored program in sustainable goal of empowering and the gender equality, where the National Mission for Empowerment of Women, including the Indira Gandhi Maitri Sahyog Yojana. So we have the Indira Gandhi Maitri Sahyog Yojana. This is a program only for to empower the women to provide the technical and financial support to the ladies, those are engaged and those want to engage into the developmental activity. It may be learning process or it may be the business process. Then we have the Rajiv Gandhi scheme for the empowerment of the adults and girls. So for another adults and girls means those are above the that is the teenage group, what we call it is a. So here we have the Rajiv Gandhi scheme for empowerment of the adults and girls. Then Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. So we are funding the Save Child and increase the education or literacy rate in the ladies. So that is another program run by the central government. So everywhere we are funding every child, lady child should be in learning programs. Then we have some Sukanya Samruddhi Yojana. So what we are funding, it is a prosperity scheme supporting with the financial support as the child is birth is there's a baby child is birth is going to become. We are funding the sum of the amount of the on his name is going to be preserved into the bank. So after 18 years, she will get the financial support from the Sukanya Samruddhi Yojana. So she will be financially independent after some period. So amount is going to be provided by the government. So that is we call this get the prosperity scheme, Sukanya Samruddhi Yojana. Then we have the support the training and employment program for women. That is the state. Where like an ITI, we have done some skill development programs out there. In that one, the programs are going to be run. Take an example, we have the beauty parlor schemes, we have the stitching, that's the tailoring, and then different type of the programs are there. So we have the skill university. Under that skill university, we are finding we are running a special program for the ladies to empower them. So there should be they can come in a business or they can start their own business or they can promote the business. So such schemes are going to be run by as a step. Then Janki Suraksha Yojana and we have the Kasturba Gandhi Balika Vidyalaya. So these the program which are going to be run for gender equality by the central government. Next one we have the ensure the availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for all. Now sanitation and water. Water, that is an availability of a safe drinking water, availability of ample amount of water for every person. So as per the norms, Indian government, we are funding 135 liters per person. The water should be available. But it is not possible in every part of the India that every person will get the 135 liter. But there is due to the scarcity of water, due to the quality of water, then what we found is that it is not available for it. So you have to ensure that everyone should get that. So now we have started with the Nal Se Jal Yojana. Nal Se Jal Yojana means safely you have to get the provided with the water availability. Second thing, Gram Panchayat is also providing the water facility. That is the RO plant and all these things. And with the nominal cost, they are providing the water facility to the people in rural areas also. So the safe water is going to be also one of the need because 80% diseases are waterborne diseases. So naturally, safe water, drinking water, safe utilized water should be available for the sustenance. Second thing, water is also essential for agriculture and industrial development. So naturally, the sustainable management of water it should be. And another thing is we have the sanitation. Sanitation, that is the waste which is going to be generated. It may be in the liquid form, it may be in solid form. So what are going to be generated in city, semi-urban area or rural area. So here we have to maintain the sanitation facility for every person to be increased. So take an example, every day we are finding that the cart is coming onto your gully or your living area and they are asking for to give the there is garbage and they collect it and so there is no dustbin are going to be keeping into the open areas now because This is the program that the solid waste management program is going to be run by the central government facility. So what we are finding that here in this picture, we are finding that how much water is going to be get the available of the water ample or the drinking water. Initially, we have in 1990 only 2.3 billion people are getting the water through the pipe. Now we are increasing the number by 4. But in the facility, we are finding the people, those are living in near about more than 100 people, 100 million people, 10 crore people are living in the areas where the poor water quality. So mostly you are finding that the people, those are not getting. So 10 crore people are not a less number. So these people are should have to get the ample amount of water for their day-to-day use. So that is also we have the water to be considered. Next one, we are finding that how much water is a Nirmal Bharat Abhiyan which are going to be run into that area. Second thing, Nalka Jal Yojana, what we are going to be providing to people. Next, we have the goal 7 is there. Goal number 7 is we have to ensure the access of affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy. Now, energy, we have done 2 types of energy, renewable and non-renewable energy. Now, mostly we have done find out that day to day, even though I am talking with you on the screen, I am using the non-renewable energy resources because I am getting the electricity from the coal in the in the Asik Eglare, from that a plant it is going to be provided to us, and then we are using the electricity. So non-conventional energy resources, we have the windmills, then we have the solar panels, we have the hydroelectricity. So these are the non-conventional. Slowly we are finding that for the sustainable development, we are going to have to change towards the non-conventional, because conventional resources may be exhausted after some period. Second thing, we are finding that the conventional resources are creating a pollution. That is another drawback of that. Third one, the resources utilization will be very exhausting the mining resources, or they are depleting very fast. So this factor we have to consider that how much need is there, how much rate of utilization should be there, or what are the alternative technology to be considered for to minimize the burden onto them, because we have to make available of these resources to future generation also. So we are not the only one to utilize all these resources. We have to think about the future also. So for the goal 7, we are finding that there. So here, when we are using the resources, we are finding that we are facing a different problem, like things which are going to be considered like a global warming, then monsoon pattern, then with different type of the natural disasters, that is the flood or the drought conditions. We are going to be facing such type of the problem due to the heavy utilization of the resources and industrialization. We are exhausting a lot of pollutants into the environment, and they are affecting onto the total area. So what we are finding that we have started with some different programs through that. So in Marathi, what we call it is that, so every areas we have to provide it with the lights. So even though in the hilly regions we are providing the solar lights. So that is the national solar mission we have started. So continuous supply of the power to be. Next, again in national solar mission we have started with the different 3 categories. So for urban areas, for rural areas, and for agriculture areas, we have started some schemes to promote the programs and to minimize the utilization of resources in, or you have to reduce the burden onto the renewable resources. So next, in 2015, we have started the electrification and remaining 20,000 villages, including of solar grid power by 2020. So what we are finding that we have the different type of the programs we have started. So what we are promoting for to the different sustainable electricity generating program, like a hydroelectricity program. Even though if you find it in northern India, so Himalayan rivers, those are having the water availability throughout the year. See, that is there we are finding a lot of hydroelectricity plants are going to be started in that area, and they are generating the electricity. Even though we have the windmills in the Maharashtra, we are finding Patan. Even though that is in Dhulia, nearby Dhulia, we have the we have started with the solar cities are also. We have the solar grids, that is a where villages are there. Solar farming is there. So like the programs are started with the to reduce the pollution level into this one, to protect the nature and increase the capacity of. Next one, we have the goal number 8 is there. So it is first lecture is vanish आहे, संपलेला आहे. ब्रेक हवा आहे का कंटिन्यू करू 5:30 पर्यंत?
Sir, we need break.
5 मिनिटाचा ब्रेक घेऊ सर.
चालेल.
नाही.
हॅलो सर, आलंय की सांगा मला सुरू करायला.
Yes, sir,
Okay,
you
sir.
can start, sir.
चालेल ना?
Yes, sir, it will do.
आणि थोडं फास्ट घेतो मी जरा, कारण कव्हर होणार नाही. चालेल?
Okay.
Goal number 8, we have done a second lecture. We have started with that. So goal number 8 is to promote the sustained, inclusive, and the sustainable economic growth fuel, full and productive employment and decent work. Second thing, here we are finding that we have to sustain inclusive and the sustainable economic growth. Now we have to start such a program for in developing and developing countries that which can sustain their promotions, because we have to transfer, because some countries have the manpower but they don't have a technology. Sometimes they have the technology but they don't have a financial support to spread that technology in each and every corner of a country. So naturally that time we have to require for a promotion you require a financial support. So there are different agencies at a global level by United Nations which can give the financial support for to get the at a nominal interest rate, that is a fund available, or monetary support to the countries. So there is an in World Sustainable Development Corporation in Johannesburg, they have decided that the money to be provided to the for a sustainable development program which are going to be considered by the country. So take an example, we have getting the different type of the financial support for the different program like in health programs. For polio eradication, we are getting the financial support from the World Health or ICMR, what we call it. To the ICMR, we are getting the money, and then we run a program under the Health Ministry. That's the polio eradication program. But when we are going to be considered as a bullet train, it is not a come under the sustainable development. Though it is in a transport system, but it is not a sustainable. So there is no financial support by the United Nations for a promotion of these one or any United Nations under agency, financial agency not going to be support such type of program. So we are getting the private money. We are lending from the Japan government and we have started that. So promotion for a sustainable economical growth, we are finding it may be the non-renewable resources, then resources consumption rate, then health program, education program, then cultural program, then environmental like the conservation programs, hotspot conservation program, biodiversity conservation program, wetland conservation program. So a lot of programs are, even during climate change, we have the different types of the monitoring programs. the air monitoring programs. We are finding that these are programs are going to be supported by the United Nations or the group of nations, that is 193 countries which are come under the Johannesburg conferences. They are financially supporting. Same time, they are exchanging their technology for to the needy person at a nominal cost for training and the promotion program or support or alternative in technology to be considered in that program. So what we are finding, this is the full productive employment and the decent work for each and every person those are living in any corner of the world. So then and then we can achieve. So not a single country should be rich and the other country should be poor. Take an example, we have a country like European countries, those are the richer. But when you come to the downward direction towards the African continent, where a lot of poor countries are there. Even though in Asian, Far East Asia countries like, and we have the Myanmar, then we have in Cambodia, we have in Vietnam. These are the having the very low income group people are living in that area. So what we have to provide the financial support to increase the employment in that area and provide the technology for to promote the financial gain in that purpose. So what we can do into the goal 8. So we are funding Indian and world growth map if you consider per capita income and unemployment rate. Then we are funding in 2015, we have an unemployment rate which are going to be considered unemployment, that is 8 months. Whereas the per capita GDP, we are funding Brazil, Russia, India, China, and the South. In this graph, that is a bar graph, you are funding India having a very small 1499. That is now we are reaching up to the 2300 now. Now in 2024, we have 2300 per person per capita. That is GDP is there. So what we are finding that it's a very least what we have. We have very less. So India and the world growth percentage, if you are finding, we are under still world we have, and here we are finding the growth percentage of Indian continent, how they are going to be considered. So here for that, generally we have run a different programs for to increase the productivity. So what we have then, we have the national service scheme. National service scheme, that is in each and every colleges we are finding, we are creating the attraction between the student to how they have to go for services or to participate in a programs. Different programs are going to be run into. So we are creating a culture. NSS is nothing but to create a culture to make the affection towards the work in the student life. So that is the NSS program for each and every colleges through the university. We are going to start it. Second thing, we have the skill development missions. We have done technical universities. We have done technical, what we call as the programs are there under the AICT, under state MSBT, what is Maharashtra State Technical Board is there. Then we have the different university. We have started with the new university, technical university, skill development university, last year only. We have the different type of the technical university like in Brunei. We have the technical colleges, all are affiliated in that area. So what we are finding that we started the skill development mission. So we have an idea, a lot of programs are there. And all these are under the state government as well as in central government. They are providing the money for to run. Why? To increase the skill. Why the skill to be increased? We require the productivity. National Urban Development Mission. Now this is another one we are finding that the lot of migration is going to be happening. So presently we have the migration rate is 35%. With people from the urban areas migrating towards the city areas for the job opportunities, for the education purpose, for the health purpose, what it may be the purpose there. So what we are finding, this is urbanization which is going to be increasing day by day. So naturally we have to provide the facility to that people to empower by different programs to accommodate into different program and then bring them under the development scheme for them. So that's the national urban development missions are going to be started. So we are finding the low income group housing facilities are going to be started. Then we have the health facility, then water facilities, sanitation facilities. Those are going to be started in that area. Then in the Upadhyaya Antodaya Yojana. Antodaya, so name is different one, but Antodaya Yojana is the people, those who are at the end, those who are standing in the developmental activity. Everyone have to reach, everyone have to provide that facility to each and every person in the programs. So that is Antodaya Yojana we have started. So it may be the finance, it may be skill related, it may be health related, food related, what it may be. So the Antodaya was now we have started. Next goal of we have done a 9th goal. We call it as build the resilient infrastructure, promote the inclusive and the sustainable industrialization and foster innovation. Even though if you find that the picture, it can give you an idea related with the developmental activities in urban areas. So infrastructure also one of the important factor. Take an example in Maharashtra, we have started with the Samruddhi Mahamarg. That is which are going to be started in last year, I think completed now and started full-fledged. The people, those who are living into the Nagpur, they can reach into the Mumbai within 8 to 9 hours. So that was a distance which are going to be required more than 17 to 18 hours earlier. Now it is the reduces almost near about 60% or 50%. What will happen with these one? So these infrastructure can provide those are the people living in that area producing the different type of the material. It may be the industrial material or it may be the agricultural material. Now it is easily available to reach into the another market with the high speed within a short period, and then they can earn the money, they can financially get the stabilization. So immediately they can reach into that areas. Otherwise, time is going to be reduced due to the infrastructure development. Even though in cities you have finding that we have done a road facility, then we have the rail BRT facility, and we have done a metro facility. Why? Because the transport is one of the important factors. And for these purpose, we require a proper infrastructure work to run the programs. Second thing, when the infrastructure is going to be developed, maybe in the areas like the constructions, different type of sanitation construction, overbridge, then tunnels are there, or it may be the what we call the different type of the recreational facilities which are going to be considered, health facilities are going to be considered. These infrastructure are required part to the population, those are residing in that area and easily available for each other. Next one, we have a sustainable industrialization and the foster innovations. When I say that is sustainable industrialization, so we have to modify, we have to implement, we have to adopt new technologies in the rate of production. We are not going to reduce because we cannot stop the industry to function. We cannot stop the industrialization. We have to go for the industrialization. We have to increase our financial conditions by producing the material and selling into the national and international markets or to fulfill our requirements. But it should be a sustainable. What it means by sustainable industrialization? We have to adopt such a technology which can optimize the use of the resources, which can minimize the release of the waste material into the surroundings. And third one, which can protect the social, cultural, and financial to the every well-being or a human being present or associated directly or indirectly associated with the industries. So that will be the sustainable industrialization. So you have to develop a such type of the program for the industries, to promote the industry to go for such type of the program, adopt the technology. And finally, you have to foster the innovation. Innovation is one of the idea. We are finding that the new technology which are going to be considered. So mostly, it's a very surprising that you know that one very well. In India, 80% pharmaceutical material which are present in Indian market, it's almost innovated by the foreign country. We are taking a license, manufacturing and selling in local markets. We have very least patents of innovated material in Indian country. Now we are gear up with the innovations and gear up with the patenting, the technologies or the productions or the new innovations. So that is another factor. We are finding we are using the license. So one of the a big industry, what we have there faster, that is the innovation in pharma industry is very less. So we have to modify this. Slowly we have to run a program to promote the research, R&D activities into the agriculture sector, R&D activity into the what we call it, the pharma lines, R&D, the construction line, everywhere. We are finding within a short period, we are finding that you have to go for a new concept and adopt that concept. So what the program we have that one. So market size of the IT industry. Take an example, exports 98% export is of IT export, which are going to be considered, and IT industry, and in local market will not. So you can consider that this is a $98 billion we are exporting of IT industry, and 48 is utilizing by the local domestic. So it isn't from FY10 to FY15 only. Now it is increases more than presently. If you surprise that, we are exporting much more IT elements or export the business than the Gulf countries' oil production. Can imagine that. This is the strength of the IT. So everywhere we are finding the IT is booming into our nation. Why? Because at the low cost, we are providing the manpower resources with the technological support to the world. So we are finding all the global companies, they have their companies that have the offices into the Indian market. So IT industries in Bangalore, IT industries in Coimbatore, in Chennai, IT industries in Cochin, Trivandrum, in IT industry in Pune. We are finding this is the hub now. IT hubs are going to be created. So what we are finding, we have a lot of technical skilled worker are available for IT industry. So a lot of IT boom is present in our market. So next one, we have the digital divide in India. We are finding population within no access to the internet. Now here we are finding that 82% facility. Now digital India, we are finding now presently we have that each and every one having the almost getting the facility. That's the digital ones. So slowly we have now, this is the old data of 2015. Only 12% have a household having the personal computer. But with the technology, we have changed that. Your mobile work as a computer, your mobile work as an internet, your mobile work as a bank, your mobile work as a calculator. So it is a come as a smart one. Mobile is a smart one. What we have adopted the technology new, which can compromise with a lot of things. Correct? We have adopted with a lot of things. And this is the things that is make in India we have started with them. So what are the programs for the industries we have considered? Border Area Development Program. Then we have the National Handloom Development Program, Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana, then Make in India, East to Bring of Business Initiatives. Then different IT industry program are there. Only 4 to 5 I have taken here. So a lot of centrally sponsored schemes are there for to promote. We have for the innovations. Then we have the startups are different startup programs we have started. And then we are providing the financial support for the different program to improve, to start or to change the program. Financial support through the banks are going to be provided. So what we are finding, this is the centrally sponsored program for to increase the industrial development. Goal number 10 is reduce the inequality within and among the countries. Now we are finding there is the inequality within and among the countries. Now within among the countries, if you consider Bharat, Pakistan or Bharat, Bangladesh, immediately you can compare with each other. What is the population? What is the living standard? What is the facility available to this population? So you can easily compare, and then you are far better than them. You are far better than them. Means what? You have the more facility. You have the more education facility. You have the more social security. So what we are finding that the world is finding out. So within the country, when we are going to be comparing, you can compare with each state with each other. If you take Gujarat with the Maharashtra, Maharashtra with the Madhya Pradesh with Chhattisgarh, Chhattisgarh with the Jharkhand, then you are finding if you compare the Jharkhand with the Mumbai or Maharashtra, then you are finding much more difference. There are countries, if you make the ranking, then you can finding that some countries come under the third category, some under the second category, some under the top category. So these are the inequality which are going to be present. So to reduce that inequality at national level, at a regional level, or at local level, and then make the availability of the everything for every person to bring in one platform. So that is the so when we are finding that in comparison with the different type of the education, employment, asset building, financial intermediation, corruption rate, basic services, fiscal transfer, then you can get the idea related with the different countries. This is our countries, and then you are finding that. India, when you are going to be considered education 3.35, employment 3.14, asset building 3.04. These are the marks which are voted. So how does the India's result compare with the other middle income countries? So middle income countries, if you make the comparison, then you can immediately find out. So red color can give you identity where we have the lacunas. Here, light green color, we are getting the moderate condition, and here we have the sufficient condition or the comfortable condition. So immediately you can get the idea related with the color in which areas we have the lacunas. So these are the lacunas we have to eliminate to bring into the middle income group countries in one platform. So everyone have it. So here you are finding that these are having the very poor condition, 2.75 yellow colors. At least we don't have that yellow color here. So that condition, what we are finding that they are going to be considered in the date. So what are the programs we have run for that one to eradicate? So multi-sectoral development program for minorities, then backward region grant commission or grant funds are there at district component, then scheme for development of scheduled caste, then scheme for the development for other backward class and the nomadic and semi-nomadic tribes. Here we have started some programs. Then we have the economically backward class scheme. Then we have the district benefit for a transfer for LPG. That's a direct benefit tax transfer. That is a PEHL. Then we have the Urja, we have the Ujjwala. These are the scheme we have started. Then we have the Mudra Yojana. So all the people who are getting the loan facility up to the 5 lakhs from the Mudra Yojana to start their own businesses for 1 lakh, I think 1 lakh or 5 lakh. They are providing the money. This is financial supported by that time you don't require any guarantee. But you have to provide that. They are provided by. So this is nothing but it is a supporting them. Goal number 11 is make the cities and human settlement inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. Now, although you are the professor, you are the teachers, or actually you are living in some human settlement in the nearby cities or urban area or semi-urban area, what do you require? You require a safe, resilient, and sustainable facility. So every day you don't have to spend time to collect the drinking water. You don't have to get any trouble related with the electricity. You don't want to get any trouble related with the road facility. You don't have to get any trouble to find out the medical facility nearby you. So if it isn't available, then what you are finding, that zone will be the comfortable part to live. So that is a common one. The same case with the urban settlements are there. We have to find out, we have to design a city or design any areas. So that areas should be sufficient with the minimum requirement of the people living in that area. So that would fall as a human settlement inclusive with the safe, resilient, and sustainable. So for that purpose, what some are going to be considered, we are finding that we have some schemes for two such type. Take an example, we have the BSUP, that is the Rajiv Gandhi Awas Yojana. Now it's a Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana now. Then we have the Indira Gandhi Awas Yojana. Again, it is turned into the name Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. Then you have the Pradhan Mantri Gram Samruddhi Yojana or Gram Yojana. Then you have the national program for person with disabilities. Then the person, those who are having the disability, will have to provide some facility under the national programs. Then JNURM, there is urban development program or renewal missions, Jawaharlal Nehru urban renewal missions. Then smart city mission. Now we have done second lecture in related with this. What is a smart city in Central? That is sustainable development. Then we have the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, and finally Atal Mission for Regeneration of the Urban Transport. That is Amrut Yojana. Now all these are come under the sustainable development programs. So these are the schemes are going to be started, and the funds are made available to run a program into the different part of the country with the help of the state government and the district government. So naturally, these programs which are going to be ensure that the sustainable programs. Goal number 12 is again we have the sustainable consumption and productive products. Now it's a consumption and productive products means how much resources are utilized by country and how much is going to be production is there. So you know that when we have some lacunas into some agricultural pulses, we are importing that pulses from other countries. You heard about that. We are purchasing some pulses from Myanmar. So we are going to purchase from the Myanmar, then Canada. So these are pulses we are getting into. आपल्या तुमच्या जेवणाच्या ताटात पण कधी म्यानमारची तुरीची डाळ आली असेल किंवा कॅनडाची मसूर डाळ आली असेल. So what we are finding we are purchasing. So we have to increase the agro. So consumption is there and production is there. We have some deficits. So what we have to consider? We have to increase the consumption. So that is the production. If it is not going to be considered, then we have to import that. Now changing the way of producing the consume the goods and the resources and the dispose of toxic waste and the pollutants. So what we are finding, the how much waste is going to be produced by the country, by the peoples. So the effect per capita effect finding over 10 emitters, here we have the India have the very least emitters because we don't have a sufficient. Canada having the highest one waste generation, whereas in India having the very least. So you can compare that because we don't have a sufficient amount of we don't have an excess. So naturally what we are finding that always we have the deficit into the consumption. So naturally waste generation is also very less. So that's the production what we have to consider. Then what we have to consider, we have started something. So national policy for biofuels. We are adding 10% of alcohol in petrol. We are reducing the burden 10%. So every year we are purchasing of 66,000 crore rupees on a purchasing of fuel. Only if you consider a 10% of that one, 66 lakh crore. Sorry, it's a we are spending up to purchase the petroleum product from the Central Asia. 66 lakh crore. We are every year. Only 10% we have started that's a blending of alcohol with the petrol. So naturally you can get the idea that how much you are reducing the amount of money. So we have started a biofuel that is from the alcohol. We are blending. Alcohol is going to be produced with the sugar cane, that we have the sugar, potato, that is what you call sugar potato. Then sweet potato, sorry, yes. Sweet potato, then we have the corn starch, then cereals. From these one we are preparing that. And that alcohol is going to be now increasing the blending with the potato. Next one we have the National Clean Funds, NCA. So National Clean Fund is the concept which are going to be considered. So that the how much you are going to be reducing the or how much you are earning the carbon credits. Carbon credit is a concept which are considered that where you can reduce the emissions of a carbon dioxide into the air, or you can reduce the consumption of carbon-based energy resources. It may be petrol, it may be coal, or it may be the other carbon energy sources. So that is a Clean India fund is there. Then second thing, you have to reduce the different type of the disease. All these are come under the National Clean Funds, and they are provided to run a program, what to promote, to make the awareness, to implement. The funds are made available by NC. The National Clean Energy, this is come under the non-renewable energy resource, like a windmill, solar energy, biogas. Then we have the hydroelectricity. All these come under the National Clean Energy funds. So this is the program again we have started. So we are going to be reduce the pollution. We are reducing the burden onto the natural resources. That is a non-renewable resources. And then this is we are finding that renewable resources. And then this is a program we have started. Now Ghar solar सौर शेती पंप सौर घरासाठी पण स्कीम आणलेली आहे, काहीतरी नाव दिलेलं आहे त्याला. तर ह्या स्कीम्स ज्या आहेत ह्या स्कीम कशासाठी आहेत? सस्टेनेबल. Then you have the renewable energy resources. That is a global investment promotion meet and expo. We are finding that. Then soil health card scheme. So you have every farmer get the idea regarding where the soil quality, what they are present, what type of the lacuna and what type of the cropping pattern they can consider, or the land use pattern considered in their agriculture sector to get the optimum benefits. So we have started with the soil health card at a nominal cost or with the no cost. The farmers get the report of this their soils. Goal 13, we have then take the urgent action of a combat climate change and its impact. But here we are finding that the pollution, then quality of life, then different type of the disaster which are going to occur into different countries. We are finding how they are going to be impacted. So you cannot stop that. If the pollution is going to be river pollution in the Punjab, if you are finding that if it is going to be generated in Ravi, Satluj or Bias river, and if that river is entering into another country like Pakistan, unnecessarily they will affect it due to the pollution which is generated into the Punjab. So at a global level, you have to combat with some national and international programs where you can have to make some common consensus among the countries related with the developmental activity. So there will be the summits between the two countries. Take an example with the Bangladesh, we have a river, that the Tista River Agreement is there. Brahmaputra, we call it as the Brahmaputra in India. In Bangla, they call it as Tista River. So Tista River Agreement is related with the river. Second thing, we have the exchange related with the Bhutan. They don't have an agriculture facility. We are providing all the food material to them. So what we are funding some at a global level, you have to find out to combat with some programs related with. So next one, we have the National Action Plan for Climate Change. National Action Plan for Climate Change. Now this is the global warming at the United Nations. They are finding out which are the countries are maximally releasing the pollutants into the greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, and which are affecting on the climatic conditions. So El Nino, La Nina effects, there's the heavy rain, no rain. That's the drought condition on the heavy rainfall. Sometimes we are finding change in climatic patterns, change into the atmospheric patterns. These are going to be happening into it. So for that purpose, they are continuously monitoring the different parameters in the part of the countries. So in the we are finding 167 points are identified by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, by the central government. And all these points are going to be collecting the data and they are providing it to central government. Why? That can give the idea related with the what type of the ambient air quality present in that areas. So this type of the programs are going to be run into the different part of the India. The National Mission for a Green India. That is a Green India. Green plantation is there, forest enhancement, then conservation, social forestry programs, all these come under this one. Then we have the National Solar Mission. Everyone knows that one. India is the pioneer for the founder member for International Solar Mission or International Solar Alliance. So that naturally we are leading into this program, that is the solar mission. Then we have the National Mission for Enhanced Energy Efficiency. Enhance the energy efficiency means we are adopting the different technology for to enhance. Take an example, even though in vehicle also, two-wheeler which you are using, it was a 2-stroke engine was there. Now we have a 4-stroke engine. Initially we have the BS standard 1, 4, 6. What is the BS was standard 4, 6, 4, 5, 6? It is nothing but it is a controlling the emissions. If you want to control the emissions, you have to increase the fuel efficiency, burning efficiency. So naturally you are getting the less smoke generating from your vehicle. And if you want to change the rate of emission, then you have to adopt the new technology in your machines. So this is the National Mission for Enhanced Energy. So R&D in the automobile industry, R&D into the pharma industry, R&D. The National Mission, we are finding that to reduce the consumption. To reduce the consumption of the energy, we are finding the enhanced energy efficiency by adopting the new technology or alternating the new technology or changing the technology. We are considering a national mission. The National Mission for Sustainable Habitat. Now this is the Shashwat Vikas. When we called it as a sustainable habitat, we called it as a Shashwat. So the new housing pattern, which are going to be considered, we are finding that a lot of areas is hot condition is going to be increasing day by day. So this is a climate change. It's a normal now, 40-degree temperature is normal in Indian continent. If you go in the European countries, 30 degrees is it's a heavy summer they can consider. So what you have to change somewhere the greenery, Green India missions. Then you have to change the habitat formations. The National Mission for Sustaining the Himalayan Ecosystem. Another one, we have the National Mission for Sustaining the Himalayan Ecosystem. So Himalayan ecosystem, we have to conserve one. Then 14th goal number is we have to conserve and sustainable use the oceans, seas, and marine resources for sustainable development. At global level, we are finding that the near about 90% countries having the sea floor, coastal areas are. So naturally, the population living in that coastal areas, they have the resources, food resources is coming from the marine areas. So naturally, you have to conserve the marine resources, or you have to maintain the marine environment, coastal environment, estuarine environment, creek environment, because otherwise that resources may be affected, and the population depend on such resources for survival. They will migrate towards the terrestrial resources, and then we are finding it may be the problem for to the resource availability. So what we have to go, you have to run a program such that where the resources can be conserved, ocean level can be conserved, or the sea parameters to be maintained, which can be. Another, just I will give the example. We have the mangrove forest on the coastal area. Mangrove forest का मराठी तिवर म्हणतात, तिवर. The तिवराचं जंगल जे आहे, it's a very essential. We are finding that it cannot be affected the coastal lines. It will stop to what we call deteriorating the coastal lines. So they are the forests are very essential. So we have declared one law. We have created one law. We call it as a CRZ law. CRZ means Coastal Regulatory Zone. So anyone, if you want to construct, or if you want to develop, or if you want to change the any program, it is not allowed. It is a punishable. Those are from the Maharashtra. They know that one of the politicians of Shiv Sena, they have started one resort into the Coastal Regulatory Zone. That's the Parav, I think. Name is Parav. So it come under the Coastal Regulatory Zone, and then it was totally stopped. Why? Because it is not permitted. So this is a Coastal Regulatory Zone is a law created only to conserve the coastal line, because it is essential for biodiversity. It is essential for the conservation of a coastal degradation. So such programs are going to be at national level and the international level. Some countries having the funding, they can afford it, but some countries don't have. So in such conditions, we have to provide it, because lot of marine varieties are present, which are having the important into the ecosystem as well as the work as a food resources. So what do we have that one program? We have the conservation of natural resources, national plan for conservation of aquatic ecosystem. Then we have the Sagarmala project, that is a blue revelation. We have started. Even though other than these one, we have the people, those are living in a coastal area, the small, what we call as the marine farmers are there. People, those are depend on the fishing and all this. These fishermen, they have some, they are getting the subsidies onto their diesel. They are getting the financial support to purchase the their boats, and they have getting the Percy nets for the fishing one. All these are made available by the central and state government to provide the financial support and to get the continuously. Sagarmala project is nothing but a blue revelation where we are funding. They can provide all this facility to enhance the marine ecosystem promotion program, because it is a source of income. Now, goal number 15, protect, restore, and promote the sustainable use of the terrestrial ecosystem, sustainable manage forest, combat desertification, and halt the reserve degradation and halt the biodiversity. So here we are finding that it is mostly related with the program related for the community. In first, I have given in 1992, we are finding that we have the 3 programs started. One is the UNFCCC. Second one, we have started with the United Nations CBD program, Conservation of Biodiversity. And third program, we have started with the United Nations CCD. That's a Convention on Combating Desertification. So these are the 3 programs which are come under the goal number 15, where we are going to be conserve all these. So we have the different institute in, if you go up, if you go in Jodhpur, you are finding one national institute is there, which can continuously develop the different type of the program for the how to reduce, how to protect, or how to minimize, how to regulate the desertification rate in that areas, how to increase the plantation in that area, how to develop the new variety for the agriculture purposes into the such type of the climatic conditions. Even though in Baramati, we have the one institute, ICR Institute, Indian Council of Agriculture Research, which continuously developing a new varieties of the plants which can sustain for a higher temperature or cold temperatures. Means if the temperature increases up to 35 to 39 degrees centigrade or 40 degrees, the plant doesn't get any effect in agriculture. Such type of varieties are good. So what we are finding, such type of the things which are going to be provided, which are the centrally sponsored things to combat with this one, where the National Afforestation Program for Plantation of Green India, then integrate the development of wildlife habitats. Project Tiger is there, Project Elephant is there. Then we have the National Environmental Policy 2006 is there. So these are the some programs which are started with the, then we have the Environmental Protection Act 1986 is there. Then we have the Social Forestry Act is there. Then different type of, only I have taken a Project Tiger, Project Elephant, but different animals are also come, we have considered. Even though in Puno, Madhya Pradesh, just we have imported one, what you call as the cheetahs from the Kenya, and then we have released it to the Indian forest. Why? We don't have that species was extinct. So naturally, we are going to rehabilitate that such type of animal again into the program. In Gin, that is in Gujarat, we have the Indian forest area. We conserve. If you go in Bharatpur, for only the bird sanctuary is there. In Kaziranga, only for the one rhino is there. So such programs we have started with the and providing the financial support. So because which are essential to this one. Even in Western Ghat, we have the Himalayan ranges and the Western Ghat, we have the special, because it is declared as a hotspot. So we have the special promotions, special promoting programs are there. Now, second last one is that is to promote the peaceful and inclusive society for sustainable development, provide the access to justice all. We have seen a lot of things. Now, everyone should be accountable, everyone should get the justice, and every inclusive institution at all levels. Now, when you are considering the promotions, everything is there, then what we have to consider? We have to consider that every element, those are directly or indirectly connected with the developmental activity, should get the proper justification. And this justification should be such that everyone have to get each and every facility at their own levels. Still, take an example. We have started with the Navodaya Vidyalaya. Navodaya Vidyalaya is a resident schools are there. It's a pattern of a new, that is the CBSE pattern, but in a rural area, all these Navodaya Vidyalayas are started. It is not in urban areas. You can find out. All are in rural areas. Why? These students are directly come into the national platform to the Navodaya. That was in concept, and it is a residential, and all the financial support, that is everything is going to undertaken by the central government. So such schemes are going to be started for sustainable by the government. Then Panchayat Yuva Krida or Khel Abhiyan. So what we are finding that under these one we are finding different type of the facilities are going to be provided in the different one, because every state having their own Pragati platform, and then RTI, so public grievance redressal system, RTI, right to information system. These are for the justice to get to each and everyone. So in the goal 17, we have to strengthen the means and implementation and revitalize the global partnership for the sustainable development. Finally, this is the MOUs with the other agencies. Those are expert in that area. We have to make the MOUs. You have to transfer the technology, transfer the identification. So a lot of time we are seeing that when the Prime Minister go out of India, he is going to making the some MOUs with the minister and other countries. And so that is nothing but it may be the exchange related with the commerce, trade related, it may be sometime exchange related with technology, sometimes it may be exchange related with the agriculture consideration. So what it was, something is going to be So here we are at the global level also. We are finding so each and everyone have to be make the MOUs, understanding with each other, and then this is a. So what we are finding that different type of the considerations, the South-South cooperation, then we have an India-Africa summit, then we have the Shanghai Corporation, we have the SAARC Satellite Committee. So different organizations are there. Like we have the NATO considerations, then we have the different type of the organizations are there. So they come together. Then African continents, they have their own collaborative institutes is there. So they come together on one platform and exchange their ideas, exchange their technology, exchange their financial support to each other. So presently we have the next month, I think this month or next month, Shanghai Corporation organization is again going to meet in this one. So what we are funding Shanghai Corporation? We are funding it, it's only the Southeast Asian countries are there. Who are Southeast Asian countries? We are funding that is the China, India, Pakistan, then Bangladesh, Vietnam, all these countries except the Japan, all these come together once. And they find out the sub program with what they are going to do. So that the SAARC consideration now it's only the nearby countries of the India. We are the leader for that. So these are the some organizations they come into these one. Now this is the 17 what we call it the goals are there. And guess I will come with the major ones. What is the things which are going to be considered in these one? Now the mainly you have to remember that this is the picture what I have taken. And first I have taken a poverty, second I have taken hunger, third I have taken good health, or this type in otherwise. The third one is related with the good health and well-being, quality education, the gender equality, then clean water and sanitation, then you have the alternative clean energy. 8th number we have the decent work and the economic growth. Then you have the industry, innovation and infrastructure that reduce the inequalities, sustainable cities. Then you have the respondent consumption and production. Then climate action. Then life underwater, life on the land, and then we have the peace and justice, and finally you have partnership. Now this is the picture where we are funding 17 goals are there, and under these 17 goals we have 169 programs are there. At global level we are funding 7,774 programs are there. You remember 7,500. It's a round figure you can remember. 7,500 programs under these 17 goals. And in India, we are running 169 programs to fulfill this requirement. Still, we are on the number 82. At global level of 193 countries, we are standing on 82 number. Still, we have to achieve much more in these goals because we have a lot of lacunas to fulfill. Still, we have to run a program. So here, these are the clues. If you remember, you understand what is a Johannesburg, what is a Rio, and what is a plus 10 Rio. So that you can understand. I hope that it's a time for to make the interaction directly now. So if you have any questions, you can ask me the questions. I will give the answers. Hello. काय हरकत नाही आता सगळं कोणाला काही विचारायचं असेल तर विचारू शकता तुम्ही.
It was really very informative session, sir.
बोला काय हरकत नाही सर बोला ते काय असेल. कोणाला विचारायचं का बघा तुम्ही सगळे स्क्रीनवर आलं तर बरं होईल एकदा. हॅलो सर. कोणाला प्रश्न आहेत का विचारा. आहेत की नाही काहीच नाही.
Please participant, if you have questions, you can unmute yourself.
तुम्ही हे करा ना त्याला अनम्यूट त्यांना सगळ्यांना ओपन करा म्हणजे ते येतील स्क्रीन.
हा सर 17 गोल जे आहेत ते त्याचं जे काही उद्दिष्ट आहे ते पूर्ण करण्यासाठी किती प्रोग्राम बनवलेले आहेत एकूण?
69 प्रोग्राम स्टेट लेवलला नॅशनल लेवलला बनवलेले आहेत. त्यातले
नॅशनल
आणि त्यात काही स्टेट गव्हर्नमेंटने स्वतःचे इन्क्लूड केलेलं आहे. मी तुम्हाला सांगितलं जसं की फायनान्शियल सपोर्ट फॉर द चाइल्ड, एज्युकेशन फॉर द ग्रॅज्युएशन लेडीज, so dropout percent to be reduced into the educational facility. We have started some programs, but at national level we are finding smart city हा national level चा sustainable cities provide तयार करणे हा national level चा प्रोग्राम आहे. तो प्रोग्राम आपल्याला त्या पद्धतीने करता येतो अशा आहेत. आता त्याचं मला ऍक्च्युअली ते स्मार्ट सिटी पण घ्यायचं होतं आणि इंटरनॅशनल सोलार अलायन्स म्हणून एक प्रोग्राम सुरू केला आहे. तर त्या सौर ऊर्जा सगळीकडे चालू आहे ना.
हो.
त्याच्या संदर्भात एक मला दाखवायचं होतं पण आता काही याच्यामध्ये वेळ संपलाय आता. पण पुढच्या एखादं लेक्चर असेल त्यावेळेस चालेल. अजून काय आहे सर? कोऑर्डिनेट कोण करतंय हे सेशन? कोऑर्डिनेट कोण करतंय?
सर गौरव सर आहेत.
येस सर.
सर स्क्रीनशॉट घ्या नाही मला द्या.
प्लीज ऑल पार्टिसिपेंट प्लीज व्हिडिओ ऑन.
हा ला द्यावं लागतं.
एक मिनिट.
Hello, sir. Hello.
गौरव सर. अरे बापरे, घेतलाय का?
Hello, कुलकर्णी सर.
हा बोला ना.
सर तुम्ही जे आता प्रेझेंटेशन केलंय त्याची पीपीटी आम्हाला मिळेल का पाहायला परत? म्हणजे व्हॉट्सअप ग्रुपवर टाकता येईल.
हो चालेल. मी जॉईन करून घ्या. मी सरांकडे पाठवतो, सर ग्रुपवर टाकते.
हॅलो
सर गौरव सरांकडे दिली तरी चालेल.
हॅलो
सर रेकॉर्डिंग युट्यूब मिळू शकते.
हॅलो
हा बोला
सर. फोटो काढला मी बंदेला सरांना फोटो पाठवतो सर.
हो चालेल, काय हरकत नाही. मला फक्त ते आमच्या लागतो. चालेल. सर्व पार्टिसिपंटचे धन्यवाद. पेशंटचे ऐकलेत सगळ्यांनी आणि ऑनलाईन
थँक्यू सर.
कुलकर्णी सर पीपीटी पाठवा पण प्लीज. हा
थँक्यू सर.
गौरव सरांकडे दिली तरी चालेल सर प्लीज.
बंदेला सर किंवा पाटील सरांकडे पाठवतो मी.
येस सर. थँक्यू सर. थँक्यू व्हेरी मच.
थँक्यू सर.
थँक्यू सर.
थँक्यू सर.
थँक्यू कुलकर्णी सर. थँक्यू.
Thank you so much, sir. Really,
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
was really great.
Very informative session, sir. That we have learned total 17 goal. Elaborately, we have got the idea from you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Many,
Sir,
many
instead
thanks.
instead of 17 goals, we have learnt a lot of things that are related to sustainable goals, and you have explained everything practically, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay, so can we leave the sir?
Yes sir.
9 तारखेपासून टाकावं लागेल तुम्हाला.
Can I leave or anyone want to
Yes,
ask?
yes, yes, sir, yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
सरांचे व्होट ऑफ थँक्स करा ना.
Yes, sir. Gaurav sir.
वोट ऑफ
Yes.
थँक्स कोणाकडे?
Whose turn is this?
व्होट ऑफ थँक्स सरकार.
I think 27.
हाँ सर, वोट ऑफ थैंक्स भी है सर जी.